Welcome back to Thoughts of the Bench. This is Shane Hardy here with Ben Marks and Luke Jett. As always, I'd ask them how they're doing, but it could be the same answer. They're doing good. This is episode 13, and I'll let Luke do the housekeeping.
You can follow us on Twitter at ShyBenchThought. You can like us on Facebook at Thoughts from the Bench. And you can subscribe to our podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. Thanks, Ben, for dropping your water bottle.
No problem.
We're going to start out by saying we're hoping the Heat are going to lose. We're watching the Heat Pacers game 2 right now, so if you're listening to this, hopefully they're down 2-0. And we're going to start talking about the Bulls and who would you rather go after in the summer, and the choices are Kevin Love or Carmelo Anthony. Anybody can start.
Personally, I like them both. I mean, it's pick your poison. I mean, Love can score. Last year I think I don't know the exact number, but he probably averaged around 20, and along with 8 boards or whatever, and that'll help. And then you look at Carmelo, which he averages 28, but not as many boards. Love is more defensively sound. It doesn't matter to me which one we get.
All right, Shane, and what's your thoughts?
Well, I kind of agree with Ben. I mean, Carmelo's a better scorer, but I think that, and I'm a huge Kevin Love fan, by the way, but I think that the Bulls need to take the one you didn't take the least amount of money to get. I think that it's going to help them with a lot of other stuff we need to get taken care of, and I just think that if Kevin Love's willing to take less money than Carmelo, then they need to pursue Kevin Love. And if Carmelo wants to come to the Bulls, I don't know if he came out and even said he wants to. I know he's been in the shy with his wife and whatnot, but if he wants to come to the Bulls, then you can, mess around and see who wants to take the least amount of money. But right now, we don't even know if Melo wants to be a Bull. He might not want to be a Bull.
I want Carmelo just because he's the purest scorer, and that's what the Bulls need. Regardless of money, I still think the Bulls need to get Carmelo. Kevin Love, I'm not sure if he's a shot creator like the Bulls need, and I'm not sure that that'll help out at all. He's obviously an upgrade to Boozer, but what you're going to have to give up to get him might not be worth it. The Cavs got the lottery pick today, number 1 overall for the second straight year. They're still trying to get the first-round quality that they drafted with Anthony Bennett last year. That was really a questionable call. This year, they'll probably draft Joel Embiid, and what if LeBron opts out and he comes back to Cleveland?
That would be a huge benefit for Cavs fans. I know one of the things that the Cavs want to address in the draft is to make sure that they impress Kyrie Irving, because his contract is up at the end of the season. So if they can impress him by bringing in an Embiid or Parker, another scorer to take the load off him, then I think he's more likely to stay.
Yes, correct.
I think the lottery's rigged.
Definitely a possibility. The NBA is still trying to get karma back for Cleveland for LeBron leaving.
Yeah, but
as Bill Simmons said today.
Well, Cleveland's not that big of a market. I mean, it'd be more beneficial for the NBA to rig it so that, Boston or LA or New York gets number 1 overall pick to bring, fans back there.
Or they're trying to expand the thing, like the NBA, by making outside teams better, so you don't have the
competitive balance.
Yeah, you don't have the very few teams in the NBA who are more elite than the others.
More big news on the Chicago sports front is that Brandon Marshall signed a 3-year extension onto his contract, so we will have him for the next 4 seasons, which is big. You guys' thoughts on the deal?
I'm happy. Brandon Marshall, that's the best trade the Bears have possibly ever made.
Yes,
bringing Marshall into town.
I mean, they got him for, 2 third-round picks?
I think 1.
Yeah.
I thought it was 2.
He has really improved the offense. I mean, he gives a big target for Jay to throw to, and Jay takes advantage of it.
Maybe the only target for Jay sometimes. What's your thoughts, Shane?
You can't argue that signing Brandon Marshall to an extension is not fantastic for the Bears. I mean, you can say it's the best trade in Chicago Bears history, or you can also probably say that he's the best Bears receiver in Bears history. You can make an argument for that, and hopefully he puts up numbers where you don't have to make an argument for that anymore in the next few years. Like I said, it's a good thing they re-signed him. I hope that Jay Cutler doesn't overthrow to him, though. He's going to have him for a while. I hope he spreads the ball around. We're not going to get on that Jay Cutler subject. We talked about that last time, but I think that overall it was a great thing for the Bears to do.
Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey, the best duo.
Hands down. Hands down.
Yeah.
Name another one's even close.
Demarius Thomas and Eric
Okay,
Decker.
okay.
No, it's not Eric Decker anymore. It's Wes Welker.
Well, yeah.
But
No.
Well,
and then
Eric Decker and Julius Thomas.
Roddy White and Julio Jones.
yeah, Roddy White and Julio Jones.
They don't compare though.
I think
they're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good.
I think
But I think that Alshon Jeffrey and Brandon Marshall stand out to be their two 6-foot plus receivers. They both run good. They both yards after hit. I think they have great hands. They have great knowledge around the field. Alshon Jeffrey, how many catches last year did he keep the ball above his head when he fell out of bounds so he didn't get knocked on the way down? That you can teach it, but that's something that people that you just kind of know, and he kind of knows it, and they know what their job is, and they get it done. It's great, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
I think the Bears might have the most complete offense in football.
They might this year.
Yeah,
I think it depends on.
Forte's a hell of a running back. Martellus does a good job.
Yeah, we haven't talked though. We have to know we have Martellus Bennett still.
And he's a hell of a catcher too.
Marquise Wilson is going to be somebody to keep an eye on. He had a couple catches in the Green Bay game last year, and he was a 7th-round pick, rookie last year. He's another over 6-foot target for Jay. He's going to line up in the slot.
I think that the offense could be one of not the best offenses in the league this year, depending on how healthy the offensive line stays.
Yep. They played all 16 games last year, and that's going to be tough to copy. Kadeem Carey's going to help out too, the running back, kind of a smash and dash kind of thing with Forte, but that might take away some of Forte's values on the floor a lot last year with Michael Bush being non-existent. Really.
That's right. I always thought the Chicago Bears, I think of, hard smash mouth football with the running back. I think like the guy who's going to run in there like the bus and pound you. I mean, Forte's been great. I love it, but I still love to see a good,
like
guy who's going to get.
Benson.
Yeah, Cedric Benson. Well, if Cedric Benson would have been what he thought he was going to be. I'm talking about like Eddie Lacy, like hitting guys, knocking them down, fighting for extra yards. I love to see that guy who fights for extra yards and just shows a lot of character, and I think we'll see that with him.
I think Jay might be a top 10 quarterback this year, passer rating wise. I think if he can stay healthy, I think
he'll be top. I think he'll be top 5 touchdowns thrown, but I wouldn't say top 10 in quarterback rating.
I think he will be. I think so. And
year 2 under the Trestman system.
It's going to take 3 years to fully get it. And last year he set a career high in passer rating, so
sky's the limit.
Exactly. It's going to be big.
Fun fact about Brandon Marshall is that he is a 4-time Pro Bowler, back-to-back 1,000 yards receiving with the Bears, and he was a 4th-round pick when he was drafted.
Correct. Yes.
It's very interesting how late-round picks can turn out well.
Mm-hmm. Alshon was a 3rd rounder, I think. I believe.
You have to think that it's funny that not a lot of teams wanted Brandon Marshall because of his, on and off the field
attitude.
Attitude.
He came to Chicago and he turned it around.
Yeah, he might be. I think that he is the captain of the team. I mean, you got Kyle Long, you got Lance Briggs, and you got Jay Cutler. But I think as of right now, I think Brandon Marshall is the captain of that team.
I agree.
Switching back into basketball here, I saw a thing today that said Mike Krzyzewski, the coach of Team USA, said that Derrick Rose is going to practice with Team USA this summer. Is he still in that caliber of players? I don't know if he is.
I don't think he is. Back-to-back knee injuries. Historically, most players, they're not as explosive as they were before. Look at like Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
Brandon Roy was not the same player after his
but
injury.
he did improve his vertical by 3 inches or 5 inches after his ACL tear. He puts in a lot of work. He has gotten bigger. He's gotten stronger. He's gotten faster. But it's just if he's afraid to use it, nobody knows. That's kind of a tough question because nobody knows what he's going to do. Nobody knows how he's going to play. I mean, last year or 2 years ago last year when Derrick Rose played in the beginning of the season.
He almost looked scared when he went to the
he did not throw out one dunk last year, and he played. That's a fun fact. He did not throw one dunk down, and that's coming from the rookie Derrick Rose who would fly through the lane and posterize people, and that's when he was the MVP, whatever caliber seasons. He had those 2 years there, and he dunked the ball. And I didn't see any of that. I saw trying to avoid contact in the lane, and I think that if he got bigger and stronger faster, and he's willing to go to the rim hard, then you can see the Derrick Rose that you saw in rookie and sophomore seasons.
And you got to think, is he even like the top 5 point guard anymore? I
Well,
don't know.
we can't really discuss this because we haven't seen him really play. I mean, you can't count like a month of a season.
Even like with that is, so you're gonna bring him to Team USA camp and you haven't seen him play. Like you can't really do that.
Yeah, but you can't.
He hasn't practiced under contact even, so you don't know.
Okay, well you can't.
Chris Paul, you're not gonna not bring Chris Paul.
Okay, but all they know though is that Derrick Rose at one time was the MVP of the league before he got injured. They have yet to see him play after that without injury. So all they know is that he was an MVP caliber player who got hurt, and they can't say, well, you might not be the same person. They have to give him that chance. He's earned it. Besides his injuries the last 2 years, everybody's speculating. Do I think Derrick Rose is going to be MVP ever again? No. Do I think he's going to be a good point guard in the NBA? I think he can. I don't think he'll ever be the top point guard in the NBA. I think he might be fifth if he worked hard and is not afraid. But nobody knows. That's the question that it can't be asked until you see him play.
And expanding on that point, you think, and it wasn't just the knees with Rose. The year after his MVP season, he was out with his groin, his hamstring, his neck, his back, his ankle, his turf toe. Like, it wasn't just his knees. People forget that he missed a lot of that next season. And
well, hopefully that you look at a positive note that he had time to recover that. He had time to strengthen everything that was hurt. He's gotten stronger. He had time to rest all that stuff that was hurt. So when he comes back, he shouldn't have to be worried about his hamstring or his groin because he should have, they should be stretched out and rested and stuff and ready to go. And if you get a guy like Kevin Love or Carmelo into the team, then I'm really going to be ready for, Derrick Rose to come back and play basketball like he did. And if he does that, then you need to watch out.
Is Derrick Rose worth 30% of your salary?
30% of the team?
He is. That's what he's under contract for. I mean, I know you're not gonna buy out Derrick Rose, but it's just something to think about that Derrick Rose is taking up 30% of this team's salary the last 2 years and only playing under 60 games. I don't think he's played a full season combined, and he's max contract. But obviously, you're taking that risk after he won his MVP award.
Yeah, he's definitely. What he's proven in the past is he's worth every penny he's ever made, besides his injury season. But I said you can't just say say he's not the same person because we haven't really seen him play yet. And I know much as I hate to say it, I don't think he will be, but I hope he is. I don't think he's going to be bad. I don't think he's going to be he's going to be a starting point guard in the NBA. And he's probably going to be a decent one still, but I'm hoping he's going to be the same Derrick Rose. And people say he's not going to be, but nobody knows. And that's all we can leave at that situation.
Yes, I agree with that. We're going to flip to the other team that plays at the United Center, the Chicago Blackhawks, who took a 1-0 lead in their Western Conference final. In Game 1, they won 3-1, I believe. Yes, yes. And what did you guys see in that game? I know we're not big hockey experts, but what did you guys see, how the pace of the game played? And we got 2 days in between Game 2 and Game 3, which is a huge rest time, which can actually help the Kings coming off these 2 7-game series.
I mean, what they did well was make the saves. I mean, that's the key. Quick does not play well against Chicago, especially in Chicago. So if you make him work for his saves, I think that you're more likely to have success against him. I mean, that's really what I saw. They kept pressure on him the whole game, and he faltered.
Yes, and now that Game 2 is tomorrow night, are you guys buying Corey Crawford as a top-tier goalie right now? Like, is he playing at that level? Because I've been saying it since February and January that he is in the top-tier goalies, and I think right now this is solidifying it right now.
I believe he is. He gave up back-to-back 4-goal games against Minnesota, and then he comes back and,
Some of those were empty nets, though.
Yeah.
I think 1 or 2 of them were. So
and then he comes back and Minnesota only gets 1 goal against him, and then in the game the other day, he only gave up 1 goal. I mean, he's doing well.
Yeah.
He's definitely worth it.
The big thing with Crawford for me is Crawford makes so many good saves on I guess hard saves, but he makes like so many, like all 90% of the goals that Crawford gives up are pucks that shouldn't even be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that Crawford comes out of his net too much in my opinion. There's times he comes out of the net and he throws the puck back like last game, and he tried to clear the puck, and he had to jump back in his net and just took it off the chest, and then the next shot almost went in the goal, or it did go in the goal, I think, didn't it?
No, the only score of the game was the 2-on-2 break.
Okay, yeah. So they almost cost us a goal. One of the Blackhawks players stuck their stick in, I think, and swiped that puck
Yeah.
away. But like stuff like that, like you don't need to come out of your box. You need to. I think that it's all there. I think when it's too easy, or it's easy shot, I think he just kind of takes it for granted. He's gonna block it, and it just lets a lot of them go by. And I don't. That's one thing that I say he's not a top tier goalie yet, just for that one reason.
I got two things. One, Crawford was incredible Game 6 against the Wild. That overtime game, they could have easily lost that game.
Yeah.
So like I said, the big saves.
He was incredible in that game. The Wild were peppering him, and he was incredible. And to keep the Hawks in that game was just incredible.
Yeah, but another thing about that game is Minnesota missed 2 or 3 shots in which they had, wide open chances. And I mean, some of them were good defense. Like I recall one of them where Saad kept his stick on the ground, I believe it was, and knocked it out of there. And another time, the guy just hit the iron and bounced away.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yeah, he's been proving himself, I think.
Yeah, and Mark Lazarus, this is my second point, but he's the writer for the Sun-Times for the Blackhawks, and he wrote an article today that I read, and it was about quit sweating the little stuff with this team and quit talking about the little stuff and making a huge deal about it, and just enjoy that this is probably the golden age of hockey in Chicago. Like, this is comparable right now to the 90s, with the Bulls in the 90s. Like, after this year, this could make them 3 cups in 5 years, and it's
dynasty.
It's getting there. I feel like it's in the early stages of that, and it's just incredible. Like Kane, Taves, Hossa, Keith, Sharp. I mean, these are Hall of Famers. Some of these are Hall of Famers we're talking about, and this is just an incredible time. We just need to sit back and like really grasp it. I don't think we've really like come to.
Yeah, I guess if you look at it like that, like how many people how people are gonna be talking about forever the Bulls in the '90s forever, and talking about their kids and everything like that, and we're gonna be able to talk about with our kids, and they're gonna be able to tell their kids that stories we told them about the Blackhawks, what they used to be, and I guess it's kind of a good way to look at it. I've never looked at it like that before.
Neither have I. That's what I just saw that article, and it just made me think.
Yeah, I mean, if you kind of stop, I guess you kind of look at it like, even if they don't win the cup this year, the Western Conference Finals,
4 and 6 years,
yeah,
Western Conference Finals.
I mean,
and even crazier to think, before in Kane's rookie year, Kane's rookie year, so it would have been the 07. No, yeah, was it 07, 08? Or, well, I think it was 07, 08. Games weren't even televised. Hawks games weren't even televised. Their owner, the Wirtz before Rocky, wouldn't even let the team on television. It's just crazy to think, like, how crazy would it be just to, like, oh, the Hawks are playing tonight. Oh, I can't turn them on because they're not on TV.
Well, I've seen people, I know people who say, I hate hockey, this and that, and now people who said they hate hockey 2 years ago or last year and they could never watch it are avid tweeting about the Hawks every night. Hawks win, Kane with the goal, Taves with the goal, Hawks, I see you, everybody in Chicago. The Hawks are pumping up Chicago. I don't care who you say, even if you're not a Hawks fan, I saw plenty of at the parade who did not even care about the Hawks, and they were just there because it was, it's something like a once in a lifetime thing, and the Hawks are making it happen for a lot of people.
You go around like Chicago and just look around. I mean, you see at least 2 or 3 Hawks sweaters just walking.
I saw a guy wearing a Hawks jersey to a graduation a couple days ago. I mean,
why not? I mean, it's just, I feel like if we were able to do something in the 90s, we were all born in the 90s. Like if we were able to like look around Chicago, it would probably be the same thing for the Bulls as they were starting out. Like Jordan, Pippen. Like, we have Kane and Taves. It's just something something to hang your hat on, which is kind of cool to think about.
It is.
All right, we're gonna go final thoughts. Shane, you got anything?
Me and Ben are going to play a game of NHL after this. We're going to play Kings and Blackhawks. I'm going to be the Blackhawks. He's going to be the Kings. We're going to play in the UC, and we're going to tweet later. And whatever the score is, we think is going to be the outcome of the next game. Hopefully, after the Hawks win.
That's what. Yeah, I was gonna ask our predictions for game 2. You're just basing off the score of the game.
I'm going to base it off the score of the game, which I think that the score of the game is going to be 3-1 Blackhawks.
Score of the game, 4-2 Blackhawks.
I'm gonna probably go. I think 3-2 Hawks. They hold off a late push, and I think they'll go 2-0 back to LA for the second year.
Yeah, I'm thinking 2-1, and then the Hawks are going to put an empty netter in to seal the deal. 20 seconds.
That'd be nice. I think we didn't really say this before last week, but I said Hawks in 6. What did you say?
I think I said Hawks in 7. They're going to win game 7.
I said Hawks in 6.
Yeah, you never said. Yeah.
But I said they were going to play Anaheim.
Yeah, so you're still saying Hawks in 6?
Yes.
I think so too.
My final point of the podcast is that 20 years ago today, Scottie Pippen had the dunk of his career, in which he threw it down over Patrick Ewing and provided to shove down Ewing afterwards and start chatting it's Spike Lee.
Now that's a poster.
That is a poster.
That might be my favorite dunk in the history of the NBA.
It was great.
That was amazing.
I like Jordan's dunk over Ewing more.
I guess,
Spin out of the double team and then dunk on Ewing.
I guess yeah. I mean, okay, not bad. Okay, but that's one of those dunks where you see it and you just want to like get out of your seat and like do like your handshake. You're like, oh my god.
That's what back to our era point. I mean, that's like if Kane scores a nasty goal, like that one in game 1 he had against the Wild, where he slid through 2 defenders and just backhanded over Briskalov.
Or even his game winner.
Yeah, his game winner was sick too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. It was just reliving that point. It was just an interesting perspective.
Another thing to talk about like that. One thing that's always going to live on is 17 seconds, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's something that is never ever going to like die. People are going to be talking about that literally forever. Like even if you're not Blackhawks fans, 2 goals in 17 seconds to win the game is just unbelievable.
Yep. And my final point is the Cubs right now are beating Tanaka and the Yankees, and that would be Tanaka's first loss since 2012. He went undefeated in Japan in 2013 and has not lost this year with the Yankees. I think the win-loss record is ridiculous anyway. I don't think it's meaningful at all because Samardzija doesn't have a win and he's leading the league in ERA. So, but it's just nice. It'd be poetic justice if the Cubs gave Tanaka his first loss.
#Cubes.
Yeah, a lot of cubes happening tonight, but that's okay. And Ben's got one more thing.
Fun fact, for Wrigley Field, they put up these big murals of these pictures taken, for the 100-year anniversary, put up these big pictures taken. And they put up this picture. There were 2 pictures, actually. One of them they put up of President FDR when he came to Wrigley Field, in which FDR was not president when the picture was taken. They had to take that down. And at another one, they had, I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, but they had this famous, I think he was a sports player, come onto the field, and they took a picture with him, and only to be realized that the picture was actually taken at Old Comiskey.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they had to take that down and redo it.
Yep.
Cubes.
Cubes outside of the ballpark. Yes. I guess that's episode 13. Favorite 13s? Anybody? Yeah. 13? Yeah, Joakim.
Yeah, probably Joakim.
Yeah, Starlin Castro for the Cubs. I can't think of any Bears that are 13s.
Who's Eric Weems? 12?
14.
14?
He'll be next week.
I like Johnny Knox.
Oh,
Ooh,
Johnny
Knox is a good one. Whatever happened to him?
Got a couple concussions. No, he broke his neck.
And
He
then
broke his neck or
and-
spine or something.
And then he didn't play for like the longest time, and then the Bears cut him or something.
Yeah.
Like,
look at what he does now.
Alright.
That should be our goal. If anybody knows what happened to Johnny Knox, let us know. We'll send you a free sticker for the back of your car.
Yes, please tweet at us at Shy Bench Thought and comment on our Facebook wall and tell us what Johnny Knox is doing right now, and you will get a sticker, a Thoughts from the Bench sticker. Go like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Shy Bench Thought.
Yeah,
Subscribe to us on iTunes and Stitcher, and we will be back next week with episode 14, the Eric Williams edition. Thank you, and have a good night.